People know the name Jackie Robinson for being the first black Major League Baseball player in history. This is not completely true. In 1884, Moses Fleetwood Walker and his brother Weldy Wilberforce Walker played for the Toledo Blue Stockings and the American Association, which at that time was considered to be the major leagues. And the two of them were considered to be the first two recognizably black players in Major League Baseball. Around the 1890s or so, Major League Baseball outlawed black players or people of color from playing in Major League Baseball or in their minor league affiliate leagues. There were several Negro leagues that were formed and attempted to do black-only baseball leagues at this time throughout the 1900s, but most were unsuccessful, mainly due to lack of attendance. 1920, a man by the name of Rube Foster formed a league called the Negro National League. This league that Rube Foster formed consisted of 8 teams. Those 8 teams were the Chicago American Giants, which was Rube Foster's team. You also had the Chicago Giants, the Cuban Stars, Daytona Marcos, Detroit Stars, Indianapolis ABCs, Kansas City Monarchs, and the St. Louis Giants. Rube Foster was named the league's president, and he controlled every aspect of the league, including which players played on what team, when and where the players played, and he even set up the schedules, and he got paid 5% of any gate for his work. This league was very successful under his leadership. The Negro Leagues became one of the largest and the most diverse black-owned businesses in the United States at the time. The white major leagues recognized what Foster was accomplishing, and they would send their managers from the white leagues who would arrive to watch how Foster conducted his teams, how he used strategy. At this time, Foster had a league where baseball used bunting, stealing, and basically using access to their speed. At this time, Major League Baseball was more consisted of the home run than they were considered in anything about speed. So when the white managers came to study Rube Foster, they took this back to their league. The Negro Leagues was very successful in all of the cities which they were in. Everything was going well until 1930 when Foster passed away, and this really affected the day-to-day operations of the Negro Leagues. They still were there, but they weren't as successful as they were. Rube Foster was recognized for his accomplishments in baseball, and he was inducted into Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in 1981 in Cooperstown, New York. I want to also talk to you about someone else involved in the Negro Leagues. I want to talk to you about Effa Manley. She was a black woman, and she was an owner of the Newark Eagles Negro League team. Her Eagles team won the Negro League World Series in 1946, upsetting the Kansas City Monarchs in 7 games. Her team was one of the most financial and successful business franchises in black history. There is a book written about Effa Manley titled The Most Famous Woman in Baseball by Bob Luke. She also was the treasurer of the Newark chapter of the NAACP, and she often used her Eagles games to promote civil rights causes. She is the first and only woman to be inducted into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame. In Cooperstown, New York, she was inducted in the year 2006. Judge Kennesaw Landis was the white Major League's first baseball commissioner beginning in 1920, and he was completely against integrating baseball. He blocked multiple attempts to integrate baseball from 1920 to 1944. Landis died in 1944, and he was replaced by Happy Chandler. Chandler said in his biography that he could not, in good conscience, tell black players that they could not play baseball with white players when they had fought for their country in war. The Brooklyn Dodgers executive Branch Rickey began his search to find a black player to break modern baseball's color line. He sent out agents and scouts all over the United States, Puerto Rico, and other islands to try to find the perfect fit to be his choice as the first black player. His list came down to 3 people. There was Roy Campanella, Don Newcomb, and Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was not the best player coming out of the Negro Leagues, and he was not the best player of the 3 names that I just mentioned. Don Newcomb entered Major League Baseball a year after Jackie Robinson, and while there in his career, he won Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, and he won a Cy Young Award, which is an award for baseball's best pitcher. He was the first player ever to do that in a career. Roy Campanella also came in the next year, and all 3 players played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Roy Campanella was so good, not only was he selected to All-Star games, but he was a 3-time most valuable player in Major League Baseball, winning the awards in 1951, 1953, and 1955. Roy Campanella, his career ended when he had a car accident that paralyzed him. He was still in his prime and could have played a number of years after. He was a great player. He was also inducted into Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 1969. He was the second black player selected to baseball's Hall of Fame, only after Jackie Robinson. There were other fabulous players coming out of the Negro Leagues. You had Josh Gibson, Satchel Paige, Cool Papa Bell. You had Monty Irvin, Buck Leonard. These are the names that's coming off the top of my head. Some of these players, because of age, never got a chance to play in Major League Baseball. And someone like Satchel Paige got there but didn't get to stay there long because of his age. Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame has, as this date that I know of, a total of 37 Negro League players that were selected into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame as I speak. They had legendary stories. I used to love hearing the legendary stories about Negro League baseball players when I was growing up from my uncle. And it made me feel like I saw those players play. I loved his Satchel Paige stories, his Cool Papa Bell stories. And any chance that I would get, I would always like to get me some Negro League gear and sport it. I have the 1947 New York Black Yankees jacket that I wear proudly, as you can see here. That's your inside of it. Here's your outside. That's why I like when the summer ends and I get to wear my Negro League gear. Also, I got the multi-team jersey on as well. But I was wanting to get this out since I was doing a lot of Black History events. I definitely wanted to make sure I did something on Negro Leagues. So I hope that there's something that you learned about this and something that you can look up and see for yourself. And to notice that Major League Baseball is really giving a lot of credit to the Negro League players. They are even using a lot of the players' stats and transforming them over to the Major League Baseball stats. So I think that's wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and close this out for now. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll just say bye bye.